Hey everybody, welcome back to another developer's discussion just in time for 4.1. I'm here to read it so you don't have to. Let's get started. In honor of Yu Peng Cheng, I will be using only his music for this video since he's leaving Hoyo Mix. The best news we have is something that they talked about last time, and it's going to be officially implemented once 4.1 hits. Once travelers reach adventure rank 35 or complete the Archon quest, encounter points can be changed for rewards. And counter points are basically if you complete a quest, do an event, exploration, collect materials, you will gain these points slowly. And once you complete all four, you can exchange it for something equivalent to commission rewards. And I mean, this is huge. This is exactly what Honkai Star Rail does. And it makes it so, wow, you don't have to do these stupid commissions all the time. You can just do this instead for exchange for one. Something not as impactful, but still nice nonetheless, the end battle section of the Adventurer's Handbook will have its AR requirements lowered from 20 to 16. This isn't super impactful, but I do like a lot of the rewards that come out of end battle. Dust of Azathoth is something you could only buy in the starter shop originally, so I mean, hey, it's nice. Now this update I think is overall nice, but it's a little bit of a deterrent also for people who enjoy the slightly challenging experience of Genshin Impact. One change that I think is universally good for everyone is the fact that the Ascension Prompt for when you want to level up your world is going to be found directly in your menu. And this is great because when you first start Genshin, your whole list is just filled to the brim with quests. You will never be able to navigate that thing, especially once you start unlocking stuff. So this is great. So you can just click right on it, go right to it, and makes it a lot easier. Now the thing that is maybe debatable is the fact that they're going to be making these adventure challenges also way easier. So if you recall, you were scraping for artifacts, all kinds of materials and stuff just to make sure you could survive at least a little. I don't know, the adventure challenge is it's a little hard. You had to try a little bit to make sure it happens, but the fact that it never changed, especially when you always fight the same things. You parkour, you fight a ruin guard, you fight a bunch of hilly trolls, and then you fight an agent, and then you fight the electro cube with some lasers. It became pretty stale after a while, and the fact that they're making it easier now makes me it's kind of an odd. But I mean, overall the early game experience in Genshin kind of sucks, so I guess this is fine. I would prefer if they just made the challenges a little more interesting, because in this early stage it's important to teach the player how to play. But you know what, they don't feel like it, and you know what, grinding accounts may be easier. And that's kind of all the changes we'll be seeing for 4.1, which I know it seems really small, but I think commissions, in and of itself, is just such a big change that it's ultimately worth it. And I'm happy to see Genshin improve, even if it's baby steps, because we've been suffering without quality of life for literally 3 years. So I mean, my goodness, finally. But anyway, they do have a Q&A section, and considering they followed up from their commissions last time, maybe they'll follow up on these. I really hope so. Please hold your first. But anyway, here's the first one. When will one-click expeditions be available, and what does this mean? Well, in Honkai Star Rail, if you go on an expedition, you can just automatically click the button and your characters will be saved, and the amount of time that you want to go through is saved too. Because in Genshin, you have to click and then click and then click again. It's not fun. It's really annoying. It makes it way too clunky. And what's also nice is that they said that it's not only going to apply to just expeditions, but forging and cooking. And I definitely agree with this. Cooking was okay because you would auto cook, but if you want to, navigate through the menu of literally 100 recipes, good luck. Forging also, you have to click on every single individual ore, times it to 5, and then put it in. It's annoying. It's so tedious, and especially because there's a limit, it's like, why even bother? Another addition that is going to make players very happy is the change to enemy trackers. So if you don't know, you can quickly go in your Adventurer's Handbook and track any enemy you want when you're farming. This is super nice. But the thing is that it is clunky, and you can only use your mini map / regular map for it, and that is terrible. But now they're going to change a display of how enemies will be adjusted to make it easier for you to locate. Now I hope this means that you can just use a normal tracker and click a button with the quest item and say, oh, there's the enemy, instead of relying completely on your mini map to find the next enemy. Additionally, tracking an enemy and reopening the page, your previous choice will be retained, and this is great also because enemy handbook has way too many. And if you want to fight, oh man, I just wanted to fight a hydroarchon, guess what, it's at the bottom of the page. Good luck scrolling, buddy. But yeah, I hope they implement this properly. I mean, I might want to make an example just to showcase what it should look like, because it's really tedious, the fact that trying to find enemies is literally trying to weed through a needle in the haystack, where you would just rather open a website. But of course, if you're a mobile player, that's not super duper possible. But yeah, this is still a good change. Glad to see it happening in the future. The last planned change that the developers talked about is making leveling things up easier. Now, trust me, it seems like the developers are always saying from Honkai Star Rail, but don't worry, they had a pretty original thought this time, and I think it's actually very good. The number of materials that can be added to artifacts and weapons will be increased, and a smart add feature will be added for artifact enhancement. It'll make it so you can level up artifacts instantly to 4, 8, 12, and 16. And this is huge, dude. Like, oh my goodness. The fact that you could just automatically go to certain level up thresholds to make sure it's like, okay, maybe this substat is good, maybe it's bad, I'll just go a little bit, you know, like that's perfect. You know, it makes the life of like people, it makes the life of leveling up artifacts so much easier, and just overall good features. This is definitely you know, in the future, because these are all future features, something I'm the most excited for. Of course, seeing all these changes coming in 4.1, but what about the update itself? Well, the special program is coming out this Friday. Join me on the channel, and I will be live streaming it, most likely, and or a video. And you know, we'll get there, we'll be there, have a good time. We'll see what they tell us. I'm really excited for with Wriothesely and Neuvillette. So please come home. I have 15,000 Primo gems waiting for you. But anyway, yeah, overall, I'm very happy to see that they're just consistently pushing out changes, and you know, they're not really like, you know, like, oh, we're gonna do this, and then just like never do it, right? Because, you know, like the commission system is a huge change, and all the future changes that they applied are like things that, you know, I think people maybe have thought about, but you know, they really haven't. You know, it really hasn't been a super standout of just like artifact loadouts and stuff. Overall, just improvement in Genshin. Very happy to see. Anyways, join me for more content. Maybe I'll make some mock-ups in the future, but anyway, if you want to see more things about improving Genshin Impact, then like and subscribe, and we'll be making some videos in the future. Bye bye.